The early half of the 20th century also gave rise to new musical styles, which were not quite as extreme as the electronic, chants, and minimalist styles that arose later. These new styles were Impressionism, Expressionism, Neoclassicism, avant-garde music, modern nationalism, electronic music and chants music. Impressionism. It made use of the whole tone scale. It also applied suggested, rather than depicted, reality. It created a mood rather than a definite picture. It had a translucent and hazy texture, lacking a dominant-tonic relationship. It made use of overlapping chords, resulting in a non-traditional harmonic order and resolution. Claude Debussy and Maurice Ravel were the primary exponents of Impressionism, while Arnold Schoenberg was the primary exponent of Expressionism, with the use of the 12-tone scale and atonality that makes an audience hard to understand its music. Claude Debussy, 1862–1918, is one of the most creative minds in the history of Western European music. His exquisite sense of color, harmony, and melody opened up alternatives to the musical thought dominated by the Central Europeans for more than a century. Arnold Schoenberg, 1874–1951, is another key figure in 20th century music. However, he is most well known for his development of the so-called 12-tone technique, which he developed after the period considered in this unit. Bela Bartok was a neoclassical, modern nationalist, and a primitivist composer who adopted Hungarian folk themes to introduce rhythms with changing meters and heavy syncopation. Igor Stravinsky was also an expressionist and a neoclassical composer. He incorporated nationalistic elements in his music, known for his skillful handling of materials and his rhythmic inventiveness. As 20th century purchased lots of new technology, some musical composer makes use of it and take it as advantage. Although his early career is characterized by his big ballets which epitomize primitivism, he composed important works in many styles. His influence on other composers has been incalculable. A French composer, Edgar Verrez, is known as father of electronic music that uses electronic devices and instrument in creating music. Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, who experimented electronic music and Musik concrete and introduced the rich musical potential of modern technology. John Cage, with his truly unconventional composition techniques. His works feature the widest array of sounds from the most inventive sources. 20th century music brought new freedom and wide experimentation with new musical styles and forms that challenged the accepted rules of music of earlier periods. The invention of electronic instruments and the synthesizer in the mid-20th century revolutionized popular music and accelerated the development of new forms of music. Eastern, Middle Eastern, Latin, and Western sounds began to mix in some forms. Faster modes of transportation allowed musicians and fans to travel more widely to perform or listen.